what was the hardest part, and what was the best part of doing the project?
I'd say the hardest part of it is that that there's guys and girls that are out there doing this exact thing, and that people put their lives on the line in this way every single day, and that they're coming home, and these guys watch everything that has to do with their experience, and just wanting it to be as honest as possible, I guess, so they feel less alone, that it has a chance, I think, to be a tool that serves these people to heal in some way, because the statistics are fucking staggering. I mean, the fact that more soldiers have come back from the war and committed suicide than have actually died in the war is ridiculous, and people don't know that, and I just feel like if these people start talking, the more they talk, and the more that they feel like they can communicate and feel more embraced by their community, and that people understand, and that they feel less alone, the better chance they have,
For my character, the way that I got to prepare was I got to speak to a lot of women whose husbands had come home from the war. Some of them whose husbands had diagnosed PTSD, some who didn't have diagnosed PTSD but showed symptoms, and spoke to women from all over the country, different socioeconomic and just all different sorts of backgrounds, and that was getting to hear their perspective really changed my own perspective. I think the whole process has changed my perspective on the war and people in the military, because I really do feel like it's so easy to have an opinion in this country, and yet there's so many of us who have absolutely no idea what it's like to live a military life, or be in a military family, or be a military serviceman or woman themselves. And I started out talking to the women to prepare for my role, but then just earlier in June, Jason, Ryan and I all got to go to Iraq with the USO, and then meet them while they're there in that environment. And then we came home, and then we went to Fort Carson and screened this film for hundreds of active duty soldiers and their spouses, and just sort of interacting with them at all these different stages. It just provided a sort of perspective that so few people in this country have, and so few people will ever make the effort to know before making their judgments on who we are and who they are as people, who the people who actually fight these wars are. And I think that for me was both the best and the most challenging aspect.
One of the most important things for me is that you believe that we've had a history as friends for a long time. And so Ryan and I became friends in real life, and we would be messing around and making jokes and having all this fun. And then Ryan would start rolling the cameras, and this Ryan would go into being James, who's come back from the war, and I would continue trying to mess around with him like I had been doing 5 minutes before. But now it wasn't working anymore. And so it was really satisfying in that way to just be able to carry so much of the real life dynamics and be working with actors who work so hard that really all you have to do is watch and listen to them. And I think the hardest thing for me was getting used to the dip, the chewing tobacco.
You had a hard time with that.
I threw up one night.
Right in front of me. We were sharing a trailer.
Yeah.
It smelled.
Like tobacco.
As part of the bonding experience.
Exactly.